going on, everybody? My name is Brandon. This is Potty Mouth Sports, your spot for uncensored and unfiltered sports opinions. Today, we're coming with episode 5 of Zoomin with the Boys. It's going to be the MLB May recap. We got Ryan, the full-time sesher, familiar face. He was on the April recap, but we got a new face. Feel free to introduce yourself, young man.
What's going on, guys? I'm Seb. Avid NFL fan. Part-time MLB fan, but Habs win, baby. Fuck the Leafs. Woo!
What an opener. So I don't know how we're going to dive right into this. I guess I'll just point out the big shit. We'll talk about the no-hitters right off the bat. There's 4 in the month of May. John Means, Baltimore Orioles, Wade Miley, Spencer Turnbull, and Corey Kluber, the New York Yankees, all had no-hitters in the month of May. I mean, it's no-hitter central. Don't know what they did with the ball, and the pitchers are studying spin rate. It's kind of fucking with the game right now. I mean, we have, I believe 6 or 7 no-hitters, and we're 2 months in, starting the 3rd month. What are your thoughts on all the no-hitters, boys?
They're greasing their gloves and they're getting those fingers sticky.
Yeah, sunscreen on the cap, you think?
Oh, maybe some pine tar in the glove, you never know. Some greasy little league tactics,
I think they need to figure the balls out. I think Rawlings just bought the contract out with the MLB, so I think they're still trying to figure out the balls. They've changed it a couple times here in the last couple of years, and I don't think they have it figured out yet. It's either a fucking home run or fucking nothing. So I think the balls, something up with the balls, and they need to fix them.
Yeah, because it was an absolute home run derby last year, and this year it's still a home run fucking derby. But the way that the pitchers are getting spin rate on the ball is just sickening. Like, in no way, shape, or form, 2 months into the season should an ace like Jacob deGrom, no matter how fucking good he is, he's arguably the best pitcher in the league. There's no way he should have an ERA of 0.71. That's literally just fucking despicable for the league. Yeah, I guess we'll just dive right into league leaders in the league, I guess. Batting average, Nick Castellanos, 356. Jesse Winker, 348, both from the Reds. That's pretty fucking disgusting. Adam Frazier from the Pirates, I believe, is batting 332. Chris Bryant from Seb's Cubbies is batting 324. And JD Martinez is still pretty hot on the bat, batting 323. I believe him and Bogarts were leaders in April. So, yeah, do you want to go in a little bit about your Chris Bryant, your Cubs there, bud?
Oh, here we go.
Oh, Cubs, baby, 2nd in the friggin' league, I'd say. Right next to the Dodgers in batting. They're getting their swings in. They're doing pretty good. Better than me in the show, that's for sure. Oh.
I mean, the Cubs and the Cardinals are pretty close in the division. Last 10 games going into June 1st, which is today, Chicago Cubs are 8-2 in their last 10. I mean, they're plus 32 run differential as well. That's pretty solid compared to the St. Louis Cardinals. Cardinals are kind of even. They're 5-5 in the last 10. I mean, waiting on Nolan Arenado to take the team by storm, but Chicago Cubs are looking good in the NL Central. I believe that I called a Cubs division win. They're looking good so far, but the division's still very close. It's still very early on. And the Milwaukee Brewers, I talked about this in one of my last videos. They just got Willie Adames and Trevor Richards off a trade with the Tampa Bay Rays. I was about to say the fucking Buccaneers, but the Tampa Bay Rays, they're 8-2 in their last 10. I mean, it's going to work in their system. I believe the Brewers are going to creep up there a little bit and give the Cardinals and Cubs a run for their money, especially with Yelich being hit and miss. Like, when he hits, it's hot. So,
yep. And if you remember last episode, I said Nick Castellanos, one of my favorite players, and look who we're sitting today, and look who we're talking about, eh? I mean, yeah. He's a career 270 batter, I think. What's he batting, 356 or something?
Yeah.
So I think that's a bit high for him. I think it'll die down a bit, but There is around the Twitter sphere, they're calling for a drug test on him. They think he's roiding. So I think it is a bit high, but that guy's absolutely raking right now. So I have him in fantasy. So rake on.
And two Reds batters to lead in batting average, and they're 24 and 28. It's not really translating to wins very much, but they're still not out of the running. I'll go right into hits. Adam Frazier, 69 hits. Nick Castellanos, 67 hits. JD Martinez, 62 hits. Jesse Winker, 62 hits. And Marcus Semien, 62 hits. All familiar faces. Marcus Semien squeaked in there. He's been crucial to the Blue Jays offense. Him, Vlad, and Bo Bichette are like a three-headed monster for that offense, and they are all at the top of the lineup every single night. So
yeah, the bottom of that lineup struggles, but the heart of that lineup is pretty insane with Teoscar in there too.
Yeah.
Adam Frazier's definitely has the most undeserved fucking batting average of the year, I say. It's my opinion, but the guy plays for the Pirates, so I'm just glad to be a Steelers fan only in that city.
Seb, what do you got to say, bud?
Well, I think that I think the Braves might need Freddie Freeman to start hitting the sticks a little more. They lost, I think, on the 29th to the Mets, like what, 13-2, I think. Like, that's just ridiculous. Was Francisco Lindor going off that game or what? Like, I don't even know. Like, how do you lose that bad? That's preposterous to me.
Preposterous.
I mean,
preposterous. Acuna had what, 4 at-bats, 1 hit, like no RBIs. Freeman had 2 at-bats, one walk, but like, I don't know, man. Ozzie Albies, I like that guy. He's pretty good for a young buck. I like him.
I believe the Braves have Ozuna as well, and Ozuna just got caught up in a domestic assault debacle, so don't expect him to play for a bit. Yeah, I think he's suspended.
Sounds like a Ben Roethlisberger, but I don't want to get into the NFL just yet.
Save that for August, bud.
Well, if he just got into a domestic, he might be heading to the NFL where
it's basically celebrated. We'll talk about the home run kings. Ronald Acuna Jr., 16. Everyone's pretty neck and neck in this as well. Adolis Garcia from the Texas Rangers. He's a sneaky bastard. He kind of snuck up there in the last couple of weeks, and he's been hitting the ball like fucking crazy. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. was 16 as well, and Fernando Tatis Jr. at 16. So all 4 of them are tied for home run hitters going into June 1st. And they have
Baez. You can't forget about that stud.
Well, he's not. But he's not in the top 5, bud.
No.
Shohei Ohtani rounds off the top 5 with 15 home runs. He had a crazy April, and it's kind of simmered down a little bit. I'm expecting Shohei Ohtani to take the offense by storm. Anthony Rendon needs to step up in Mike Trout's place, especially with Mike Trout being listed on, I believe, the 10-day IL, but he's going to be more than that. He's going to be a couple months. They've just put him on the 10-day just to fucking whenever they want to pull him off, they can pull him off. If you put somebody on the 60 day, they need to be guaranteed. Like, they're out for 60 days. So that's why teams just do that. They do 10 and then check and then put them on 10 again. So expect Anthony Rendon to step up big for the Angels. I mean, I said the Angels, they really needed a hot month to kind of get out of the fucking stupor they were in April, but they're 24 and 30 right now, minus 49 on the run differential, 5-5 in their last 10. I mean, they're not out of the running yet, still pretty early, but they're getting to it. They need to get hot, and they need to get hot this month, or I'm putting them on that fucking list where they're gone. And Mike Trout needs to come back, and he needs to come back guns a fucking blazing like he can.
Yeah, the Angels are in trouble big time. I personally don't think Anthony Rendon makes a comeback. He's been a guy who absolutely just fucking rakes since for how long now, like, and a top third baseman on top of that. And he's batting what, 213? That's completely unacceptable, especially with Mike Trout being out. You cannot be batting 213. So
yeah. So basically, I'm expecting it as well. I'm giving them one more month, but I'm expecting the Los Angeles Angels to be a fucking write-off this year as well in that division. I I had the Oakland Athletics to start the season as the division winners. Oakland Athletics and the Astros are pretty neck and neck right now. I believe the Astros are like 2-3 games out. It's pretty close division still. Again, it's really early, so everything's going to fluctuate big time. But you can kind of get a sense going into June who's a write-off team and who's not. Like Arizona Diamondbacks 19-36, they're basically a fucking write-off team. The Pirates were a write-off team to start. I think 2 weeks in, they were fucking a write-off team. The biggest surprise, though, it's not really a surprise, but it's kind of like a holy shit. Baltimore Orioles 17-37. They've lost their last 14 in a row, boys.
They haven't won in 2.5 weeks now.
Yeah, they need to bring up Adley Rutschman. That's what they need. They need their first round pickup there.
They need a hell of a lot more than that. I think it's a whole restructure needed in that organization.
Yep, they do it every year. They don't have the market. They don't have the capital to go out and get big players. They just try and keep whoever they can keep until they don't want to resign, and then they ship them off. Their best players are Trey Mancini and Cedric Mullins. Cedric Mullins basically is the only reason that team has fucking 17 wins or whatever, however many it has. So he's a solid 300 batter, and I expect him to be like that the whole season. But yeah.
I think they had some high hopes for Ryan Mountcastle that didn't end up panning out. And if you remember me at the start of the fantasy year, I thought he was going to be a fucking sleeper, but that didn't work out too well. So
I like that memes guy though. He's pretty good for pitching and lefty. He throws some pretty good stuff, but
the thing with these teams is they get like one or two good starters, but the rest of the rotation is shit or the bullpen is shit. The case with the Baltimore Orioles is their bullpen is absolute fucking dumpster fire. Their starters can keep them in a game for 5 or 6 innings, and then once the 6th inning hits and they go into the bullpen, it's fucking get the bat out, boys, because it's going over the fucking fence.
It's dog water season when their relief comes in.
Big dog water. Cat litter as well.
Sounds like a team I know by the name of the Toronto Blue Jays. Good through 6 until the 7th, 8th, and 9th hits, and they like to walk 7 batters. So,
is Julian Merriweather back?
I think he got 60-day IL. I think a month-ish ago. So I think he should be back by the end of the year if we do make a postseason run, but it's not looking too pretty right now unless the Yankees continue their slump they're in. So
no, don't even get me started.
Oh, we got to talk about it. We have to.
No, we do. Of course we do. I guess I'll take the helm on that. We'll go through each division right now, and we'll just say what's up real quick. AL East, Tampa Bay Rays. I believe they were on like a fucking 10-game winning streak or 8-game winning streak or something like that. They're gobbling up wins against fucking division. Boston Red Sox are still staying strong at number 2. They're not too far behind the Tampa Bay Rays as well. New York Yankees, 3rd in the AL East. I guess I'm wearing my cap, so I guess I'll go in on the Yankees insider. Need to make a trade by the All-Star break, or it's like they need to fire Brian Cashman as the general manager of the team. You can't have such a lethal lineup on paper, produce 1 and 2 runs a game, and you can't put up 1 or 2 runs a game and expect to win. Garrett Cole can't carry it on his shoulders. The bullpen has performed fucking over expectation. Jordan Montgomery's hit and miss. I mean, sometimes he'll have a really good game. Sometimes he'll just absolutely shit the bed, give off 2 dingers. Domingo Germán was very good a couple of years ago. He had the domestic assault bullshit where he was out for like a year and a half, came back. He just came back this season, and he's fucking shaky big time, especially when half the team turned on him. I expect Deivi Garcia, who's one of our top prospects, to come into the starting lineups, starting rotation soon, or even in the bullpen to kind of aid that, because we throw like Jonathan Loaizaga all the fucking time. We throw Chad Green all the time. We picked up Wandy Peralta on the Mike Tauchman trade, and Wandy, it's like sometimes you just gotta cut a fucking loss. Like that was a loss. Maybe it was for cap. Maybe it was for fucking just contract, trying to dump the contract. But it wasn't a very good trade. Mike Tauchman, especially with the shaky outfield that we have, injury wise, you want to keep depth in the outfield. Aaron Hicks. I feel like I'm fucking ranting, but Aaron Hicks, he's out for the whole fucking season pretty much. He's having surgery on his wrist, I believe. So that's a write-off. So we're going to be having to sub in Tyler Wade, who's an actual second baseman out in the outfield, and rotate Judge, who needs days off to stay healthy. I don't really want to see Stanton with his glove out there, but it's going to come to that. Brett Gardner's going to have to play center field. And it's just going to be an absolute fucking mess.
They should just start feeding them some roids. Aaron Judge on steroids, that guy probably weighed like 300 pounds beefing up. He'd be hitting homers.
As dumb as that sounds, I do agree. Steroids should be a thing in the league, but that's a hot take. So
he's got 13 home runs this year. He's got batting to 300. It's not even doing that bad. He's carrying that team, it seems like.
Yeah, he is. He's carrying the offense.
DJ LeMahieu and him and Urshela, they're doing pretty good as well, but it's just the rest of the boys, it seems like they're not doing too good. But
yeah. What can I say? I'm going to speak this into existence because I've been speaking it into existence every game that I watch. Gleyber Torres needs to be traded. He needs to be used as an asset to get a new shortstop and maybe some other pieces around the outfield or in the bullpen. He's a liability with the glove. He has multiple error games all the time. I thought he was going to get hot and his mood was going to change after he had like a couple walk-off singles to win games a couple of weeks ago, but he's just fucking ice cold on the bat as well. And he was a couple of years ago, he put up like 35 fucking home runs. So you can't really have that big of a turnaround. There's not that big of a sophomore slump. He's still 25. Teams will be very interested in picking him up. So I believe we need to use him and other people as a piece to go get some big stars.
Well, the last couple of years, Chris Bryant, he wasn't batting too good, and he changed up his stance a bit. Maybe Torres has got to do that. Maybe he's got to change up his stance a little bit and do something like that. But
can we talk about a team other than the Cubs for maybe 4 seconds here?
Best team in the freaking league. What do you mean? They're winning the pennant this year.
Going back to the Yankees, though, like there's 4 to 5 guys on that team getting paid way too much money to underperform. I'm predicting a coaching change has got to come soon, whether it's a pitching coach. Well, actually, no, not your pitching coach. Either your batting coach or it might be time for Boone to head out too. It's getting a bit ridiculous. It's a team that shouldn't be underperforming. They should be overperforming with what they have on paper.
I totally agree. And Brian Cashman and the Steinbrenner organization needs to take the helm like right away. Like this is fucking red alert. We're 29-25. We're +8 on the run differential. The Toronto Blue Jays are +42 and they're 4th in the division. It is absolute luck that we have the 2 games that we have over the fucking Toronto Blue Jays. And like we have tough series coming up. We need to finish this race series that we're in right now. And then we head out and play the fucking Red Sox right after that. So we're going to have tough divisional games. We're going to go to the NL as well this year. We need the fucking bats because we're going to lose a batter when we play NL teams for the pitcher and shit like that. So need the lineup to come out strong. We need to have a really hot June. If we don't have a really hot June, it is time to shake the squad up because we've had this same kind of core squad for a couple of years now, probably 3 or 4 years, and it's not getting the results we need. Like we've won 27 World Series total. The second place team is not even close. I believe it's the Cardinals with like 13 or 14 or something like that. But we need to be in the conversation every single year with the amount of money that we spend on players. And it's not a division you can fuck around with. You need to perform in that division. It's tight. Minus the Orioles, of course, but that's a tight, hard division, and there's no room for error, really. No. And I guess that'll lead us into the Toronto Blue Jays. Rye, you're the Blue Jays insider, 27-25. I mean, the run differential looks really good, +42. Again, I've seen it, but you can speak on it a little more. Just blowing the fucking games in the 9th inning or extra innings or the fucking 7th. As soon as you guys get into the bullpen, ever since Julian Merriweather went down, it's just hasn't been the same.
Yeah, well, we have like 10 pitchers on IL, and I believe like 3 or 4 of them are closers. So it's that the bats aren't the problems, obviously. Some of those guys are leading the league. I think in the top 15 in the league, there's 2 of them are the Blue Jays, Semyon and Guerrero. So it's not the bats. If you remember last episode, I said Pete Walker knew what he was doing, and I might have to retract that statement here. I don't know if it's Pete Walker or Charlie Montoya allowing 4 walks in the 9th inning multiple times just to lose and throw games, but it's embarrassing, and we should have about 3 or 4 more wins than we do. We should be ahead of the Yankees realistically.
Yes, the way that we're struggling.
With the Yankees underperforming and with the Jays bats, I don't want to say overperforming, but just absolutely on fire. It's tough, and it goes back to Charlie Montoya or maybe Pete Walker, but I think it all goes back to Charlie Montoya just being a fucking pussy. And I swear to God, in the last game when we walked 4 batters in the fucking 7th inning because it was a doubleheader, I swear he had money on the Indians. There's no other way around it.
Seb, do you want to chime in on the Blue Jays at all, buddy? Or
please do.
I watch them every now and then. Whenever I watch them, they play pretty good. But I don't know. I think they're doing pretty good. But I mean, I think they could beat the Yankees. I think they could get 3rd in the AL East and beat out the Yanks. But that's a pretty. I don't think anyone's going to go below Baltimore. They're pretty screwed. So. It's going to be a battle. It's going to be a battle for 3rd in that division, I think.
With the Blue Jays bats on paper, there's no reason they shouldn't be 2nd. And it might be bold, but maybe even 1st in that division because on paper and those bats are just on fire right now. And I don't even see it dying down. I mean, these are all guys that are just studs. Guerrero's just absolutely on one. Semyon, I didn't expect to perform like that, but now he's a top 15 batter in the league.
But he was really good. He was really good with Oakland.
Bo needs to cut his swing down a bit. I think he needs to stop swinging for home runs every time. Maybe take a few balls here and there instead of doing the 2-strike approach. But
getting some nice singles, maybe that'd be good for the team.
Overall, I'm not too upset with the season. It's still early, but if we can't be walking 4 people in the 9th inning, 8th inning, whatever it is. We have 1 closer. It's just it's a mess in the later innings.
I like that Rui guy that you guys got, or however the hell you pronounce his name, Jing Rui. He's a pretty good pitcher. He seems pretty good, but
who?
That Hewan Jing Rui guy. I don't know. He's your Chinese pitcher or Japanese, however the hell you pronounce it.
Ryu.
Oh yeah, that's it.
Yeah, and I don't need to touch on that one. That guy's our ace. I mean, he's good.
We'll skip over the Baltimore Orioles in the AL East. There's nothing really to say. Absolute shitter team, and they're not going anywhere. They're going to be fitting. We'll go right into the AL Central. Chicago White Sox. I spoke about their little turmoil a couple videos ago, but it's just kind of water under the fridge, as Ricky says. Like all the players. Like Tony La Russa has been a manager since the fucking 70s. Maybe I should have done my homework a little more, so I'm going to retract my statement on that. But all the players kind of have a good relationship with Tony La Russa, and he knows how to produce results. I still don't agree with what he did about Yermín Mercedes saying that he deserved to get thrown behind against the Minnesota Twins. But you can go check that video out if you want. But Chicago White Sox looking hot, 33-21, leading the AL Central right now. The AL Central is kind of a fucking clusterfuck, in my opinion. The Indians are kind of creeping up there. They've kind of gobbled up some wins in the last couple of weeks. The Royals, they have Whit Merrifield. I mean, that's about it as well. They're even at 26-26. The Minnesota Twins.
Yeah, let's talk about the Twins.
Probably one of the biggest fucking disappointments I've seen this year. Like 22-31, they're minus 21 on the run differential. They're 7-3 in their last 10. That's a positive, but like they're still kind of in the hole and they need to crawl out of it. They were expected to be division, like not rivals, but rival for the division with the White Sox and the Indians. And they kind of creep real down. They're neck and neck with the Padres for the worst in the division right now. So, I mean, Josh Donaldson, they have a solid core. They have Byron Buxton as well, I believe. And they Shane Bieber as well. No, Shane Bieber's Indians.
Yeah.
No, I'm confused. I confuse the Indians and the Twins all the time, but let's just say they were expected to do a lot more and have a hotter start than what they've had.
Well, yeah, the Twins are 7-3 in their last 10, but you got to look at the teams they played in their last 10. They just finished the series with Baltimore, so that's 3 free wins.
Yeah, that's
basically. So, but in that division, the Indians, in my opinion, are overperforming. I don't know how they're 29-24, but they are. They have Shane Bieber, but Shane Bieber can only pitch maybe twice a week, and you can't rely on your ace to save you every time. But the Blue Jays almost swept them again if we didn't choke in the fucking 7th, but I think they're an overperforming team. That division is absolutely shaky. The Royals are doing better than I thought. Even at 500, I didn't think the Royals would be even close to that, but that division's shaky, so it's hard to touch on that.
Other than the White Sox, that the rest of those teams are gobble up wins for other teams.
And I don't think we should talk about the Tigers just for our friendship's sake.
Yeah, Yankees got swept by the fucking Tigers a couple days ago. First time since the year 2000, and that's basically that was the red alarm for me. I knew we were struggling, but that's just like fucking red alert. You don't go down in a 3-game series to the fucking Detroit Tigers, let alone get fucking swept. What were you gonna say, right?
To the 22-32 Tigers, the Baltimore Orioles of the AL Central, basically.
Their best hitter is Miguel Cabrera, and that guy is,
how
my opinion, long past retirement, in my opinion. He's in the Albert Pujols class of you should have retired a long time ago. We don't know if you're here for a check or just trying to gobble up the home runs to climb up the leaderboard a bit more for all time, but
stat boosting.
Yeah.
I mean, if you can play baseball and you can get paid millions of dollars to fucking do it, I guess I'd do it until I couldn't do it anymore. But that division's fucking shaky. Seb, do you want to say anything about the AL Central, or do you want to dive right into the AL West?
Well, I think the White Sox. I like that Tim Anderson guy at shortstop. He's pretty good.
Stud.
He is.
I like him. He's got 9 or 10 stolen bases. That's pretty good. But I don't know. I think they're probably gonna win that division. I don't see anyone else kind of challenging them.
Well, they do. Go ahead.
But I like Cleveland. They're all right, but like you said, Shane Bieber he can only pitch 2 times a week basically. So there's that. But I'm surprised KC's pretty bad. I mean, I haven't really kept up with baseball that much, but KC, they were in the World Series a little bit ago, were they not? Seems like they dropped off a bit.
Yeah, like 4 or 5 years ago.
Oh fuck, really?
Something like that.
Only a couple good bats on that team, a couple good pitchers. I don't know. I expect them to be under 500 by this point, but the White Sox, though, they have the reigning MVP on that team, Tim Anderson, the stolen base king. I think
Abreu too. He's getting those Reds in. So
that's who I'm talking about. So I don't know. I think they take that division by miles.
Especially with Carlos Rodon, who came off Tommy John surgery and has been an absolute fucking stud on the bump as well. They still have Lance Lynn. They have Liam Hendricks in the bullpen to close it out. They have a solid unit. They have a whole fucking team. So
I like that that pitcher they have too, Liam Hendricks. He's pretty good. He's got 13 or 15 saves around there. He's doing good.
Yeah, he does.
Doing what he's supposed to. So
I don't know what they're putting in Tommy John surgeries anymore, but it's almost like a fucking robotic arm now when you come out of Tommy John, where you're expecting these guys to come out of Tommy John and just almost end their career. And all of a sudden now it looks like they're fucking almost better than when they went in. So
yeah, they might be finicky with the fucking needle or whatever the fuck they do, or the knife. They're doing something different and it's paying off. I mean, Chris Sale comes off of Tommy John surgery here in probably a month. And I'm excited to see what he contributes to the Boston Red Sox, whether they put him at starter or whether they keep him at relief pitcher. It'll be interesting to see.
I think you go relief pitcher with him for them.
Yeah, I think you take baby steps as well. friend of the show, Tyler McFadden, he kind of wants to just throw him right into the fire and have him in starting rotation, but I don't agree with that, especially at the age as well, coming off Tommy John. It's a hit and miss fucking surgery. It's been hit a lot more than miss lately, but yeah, I think you put him back in the bullpen and just kind of spruce up the bullpen a little bit and let the bats carry the team. But we'll dive right into the AL West. Oakland Athletics, 31-25. I'm fucking rooting for the boys. Minus 11 on the run differential. That is not a good sign, especially for a division leader. Don't know how they're gobbling up the wins they gobble, but they've lost their last 3 as well. But good on them. I'm taking the Oakland Athletics to win that division because I fucking hate every other team in the division except for maybe the Angels, but they're irrelevant at this point. The team that shall not be named is second in the division with 29-24. Seattle Mariners 28-27. They've got some really good prospects. They've got like Dylan Moore and a few other key guys. I see them kind of being even, maybe a bit over 500 to end the season, but they're going to sit middle of the pack, especially with the Angels with Mike Trout out. The Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, 4th in the division. I expect them to stay there for the month. Like, wait until Mike gets back. We talked about it briefly before. I don't really see anybody taking the helm and carrying the offense for Mike's departure or in Mike's place. And then you got the absolute shitter team of the ALS, the Texas Rangers. The only thing that's good about the Texas Rangers is they can fill their fucking stadium with fans, and good on them. Way to go, Texas. But
shout out Joe Rogan, Texas. Let's go. Comedy clubs there.
Yeah, friend of the show, Joe Rogan Experience. Go check that out on Spotify.
And I believe he's calling in for the next episode, so stay tuned.
Fuck, I hope so. Spruce it up a little bit, Joey.
Yeah, big baseball guy, and that'll be moved to Texas, totally.
But for AL West, you're not gonna like to hear it. I got the Astros winning that division. I know it's a tough topic for you, but I am Matt Chapman on the Athletics. One of their biggest guys. Just in, I don't know if it's a slump he's in right now, but guy's batting .213. Maybe if he picks it up, they stay where they are. But the Astros are only 2 games behind them. The Astros are the Astros. How many guys on that team can rake a ball? The guy that shall not be named is raking right now. Bregman raking. So I got the Astros winning that division, but the Angels absolutely stay where they are. And I would not be surprised the slightest bit if the Rangers pass them.
Sabby?
I like the Athletics to win that. I like Matt Olson. He's got a good bat on him. I think he's leading the team in ribs and I think hits, home runs, and RBIs. So he's doing pretty good. And then they got I forget his name, but he's got 8 or 10 stolen bases. He's a pretty quick guy. Just forget the last name. I think it starts with an L, but he's pretty good.
So it's a pretty good description of the guy.
Sorry, the laptop died. Can't look up stats anymore. So there's that.
It's all good. Yeah, I will never give any more respect for the team that shall not be named. They're cheating fucking scum, and I will say it like I always say, their rings need to be fucking handed back in. Their trophy needs to be handed back in, and every single one of those players deserves to never play a fucking Major League Baseball game again. But
a guy who should be mentioned in that division, though, is Isaiah Kinner Falifa, or however you say his name, on Texas.
Oh, yes.
He absolutely deserves to be mentioned. I think I don't even know what position he plays at this point. He has third base, catcher, and outfield eligibility, I'm pretty sure. Jeez. And is 4th in the league for stolen bases. So, and batting .281 on that shit show of a team. So you got to respect that a little bit. If they had a little something more, they'd bump up past the Mariners, I think.
I mean, it's going to be interesting to see, it's going to heat up in Texas in June when the temperature heats up, the fucking bats heat up, and it's just a weird correlation. So I wouldn't be surprised either. The Angels, Otania can only do so much. Like, fuck, he pitches, he fucking bats. What else do you want him to do? Fucking
He's going to be the head
Snags
coach
balls
next.
in the outfield. Like the guy's a full package.
He's going to be coaching the team and be the team doctor soon.
He's like what, 6'2", 230. He's just a mutant of a man. The guy's massive.
They're just I think they're playing him too much and trying him in too many different positions. I mean,
gotta do something though. Mr. Trout's out,
if you're going to try to keep him as a batter who absolutely crushes balls, then I don't think he should be throwing, like, pitching any games, because you're risking Tommy John on a guy who's leading your team and almost the league in batting average and home runs or whatever. So I don't know. We'll see how that plays out. That's something new that the league hasn't seen in a long time. So it's interesting to watch, but I don't think he should be pitching games. Just keep him as a fielder.
I agree as well. That's how you're going to get injury prone. That's how he throws his fucking elbow out, and then you can't use the bat. So, like, they need to make up what he needs to do. Like, get off his cock with the whole two-way player type shit. Like, I'm just kind of over the two-way player. Like, there's enough prospects. There's enough baseball players in so many countries around the world. You can find somebody to take a fucking place, whether it be on the mound, in the bullpen, fucking in the field, at the fucking plate, whatever you need, you can go find somebody to fucking do that. Before we dive into the National League, I'll hit the audience with some more stats. We'll do three more categories of league leaders. For RBIs, we got Jose Abreu, 46 RBIs. Rafael Devers from the Boston Red Sox, 43 RBIs. Vladimir Guerrero Jr., 42. Trey Mancini of the Baltimore Orioles, surprisingly, has 42 RBIs. And Adolis Garcia, the sneak attack from the Texas Rangers.
Them Rangers, baby.
With 41. Runs scored. Again, fucking Toronto Blue Jays. Bo Bichette, 43 runs scored. Mark Canha, I believe is how you pronounce it, from the Oakland Athletics, 42. Chris Taylor with 40, Vlad with 40, and JD Martinez with 39 runs scored. And then to finish off the offensive league leaders for fucking offensive categories, blah, 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 fucking stolen bases. Whit Merrifield of the Kansas City Royals, 15. Trey Turner of the Atlanta Braves, 12. Fernando Tatis Jr. with 12. Garrett Hampson, I believe, of the Rockies with 10. And Isaiah Kinner Falefa from the Rangers with 10. And I guess we'll just fucking dive right into the NL East. This is, in my opinion, probably the second toughest division. I would say the NL West, but I mean, you got three solid teams. One's overperforming, and the other two are kind of shitters and expected to be shitters. So all these teams are fucking playoff caliber teams. The NL East, we've got New York Mets, 26-20. Kind of disappointing record for a fucking for a division leader. 167 runs scored, 161 against. Like, that is, I believe, the least in the whole entire league in runs scored for, and then the least for runs scored against. So I don't know what the fuck's going on in that team. It's ridiculous. They've won their last 5. Atlanta Braves, 25-26. They're even on the run differential. Philadelphia Phillies, third in the NL East, 25-29. Miami Marlins, 24-28. Sitting fourth, and the Washington Nationals 21-29. I mean, none of those teams are out of the running by any means, and they're all fucking close knit and they're really tight. Whoa, what do we have to say about the fucking NL East teams?
Go ahead, Sebby.
You know what? I don't think any of those teams matter, because Cubs, baby, and that's the only team that matters in that whole NL division. So they're winning it. They're going to beat the Mets. They're going to beat all the teams. I'm just for sure. Anthony Rizzo is going to outpitch DeGrom. He's a Cy Young Award winner with that curveball on Freddie Freeman. Can't deny that.
That's
Guy's
ridiculous.
gross.
That's absolute insanity, Seb.
No, I'm just bucking.
Anthony Rizzo, I will say one thing about him. He's got the personality of a fucking mop. It's probably one of the worst Hot Ones episodes I've ever seen in my life. Shout out Hot Ones, another friend of the show.
Another friend, yeah.
Cut the fucking check already. Yeah, Ryan, what do you have to say about the NL East, bud?
No, I don't pay attention to the NL East that much, but I have a couple guys in fantasy there, so I do pay attention a little bit. The Phillies, I think, are underperforming pretty big. Real Muto needs to stay off the IL. One of the biggest pieces on that team. And yeah, other than that, I don't like that division that much. I don't think they're the best. I don't think the NL East is the best in the National League, but I don't know, just another shaky division. 26-20, like division leader. I don't know. There's just something about that division that doesn't sit well with me.
All right. Fair enough, Rye. We got 3 more months. We'll see how everything plays out. There's still like another fucking 120 games. Like we're just fucking hitting the iceberg with the Titanic right now. We still got time to sink. I will talk about my hometown team, the Miami Marlins. Starling Marte coming off the IL. He's going to be a big piece. Chisholm, who's been a very good prospect this year. He was a bit shaky on the IL as well, but he wasn't listed on IL 10 or anything or a 60. Starling Marte was on the IL 10, and it was probably about 2 or 3 weeks he was on there. Chisholm has been performing above expectation. He is a speed demon. He's good with the glove. You can plug him in at second base, shortstop, whatever you need, and he's good on the bat as well. They've got some really key guys in the rotation and in the bullpen as well. I'm waiting to see Sixto Sanchez be utilized for his talent. Pablo Lopez, very good pitcher as well. How do you fucking say that? The guy that you have in fantasy, right? That's fucking a shitter that you dropped. Not a Rosarina, a Lontranina or some shit like that. Miami Marlins starting pitcher.
Yeah.
I can't remember his I don't know how to pronounce his name, but
yeah.
When I say Alontra-Nina or whatever the fuck, you know what I mean. I expect him to kind of step it up here in the next couple months. I think it's Sandy Alontra-Nina or something, but he needs to step it up. They have key pieces. They have really good pieces. I like Rojas as well. Not trying to just come off the dome, but they have a solid core. It's a developing core as well. I believe they're going to creep up and be third in that division by the end of it. I don't like the Phillies have a lot of talent, but I don't see them utilizing it. Bryce Harper is an eco piece, and it's kind of his team. The Nationals have just been a clusterfuck. Like, I don't know how you go from a World Series contender. You still have Juan Soto, you still have Strasburg, even though he just came off the IL, and you have Max Scherzer as well, and it's not hitting, and I don't see it hitting. It must be a managerial issue or a coaching issue, which can always easily get fixed at the end of the season. Atlanta Braves, I mean, they've got 2 really good guys. They've got a couple pieces pitching, but they're not a solid core. I can even see them dropping down to third. Like, it all depends on how much Freeman and Acuna can carry the offense. And the Mets, I mean, put your money where your mouth is. Fucking Jacob deGrom is absolutely fucking disgusting. And I still have the Mets taking that division. But we'll talk about the NL Central. I mean, take it away, Cubs Insider. I'll let you fucking do the intro on this one.
Chris Bryant might have to win a Silver Slugger Award this year in the way he's hitting. He is just raking balls for the team. Yeah, I mean, Rizzo, like, he is a bit of a personality, I guess, but he's pretty good at hitting. I like Baez too. Baez is good. Patterson, he's kind of gone downhill in the past couple of seasons, but I think he could pull it around since there's about 3 months left or so in the season. So I think he'll be able to pull it around pretty good. But yeah, I really like Atlanta, to be honest. Acuna with that Austin Riley guy, he's really good. I think there's a lot of good teams in the NL. I think they have the best. I think they might have the best teams in the league rather than the AL. But that's just a personal opinion. I think they'll take the World Series, but
that's a pretty bold claim to take in June. But
no, not Atlanta or the Cubs, but I just think
just in general nationally.
Yeah, I just think the NL is gonna win the series, but
I agree with you on one thing. The National League has better teams overall, especially like so this far in the season. Like the batters, like fuck, 4 of the top 5 in batting average are in the NL. Just the batting
I
is
think
just
7. I think 7 in the top. I think there's 7 in the NL that are from the NL in the top 10 in the whole league. So
yeah.
it's pretty good.
Yeah,
But you never know. It's early in the season, so
Talk about the Central Division more, but like, wow, what are your Cubs against? Fucking St. Louis Cardinals, 30-24.
the Cardinals are good too, man. I like the Cardinal Arenado. He deserves a Gold Glove. He's friggin' good, man. I like him.
That was a good pickup for the Cardinals.
Yeah, I like him. He's really good. But I don't know. Friggin' Max Muncy on the Dodgers. I like him. He's good too. There's a lot of players I like in that whole kind of NL division, I guess. There's a bunch of good guys. But yeah.
I'll take over this shit show. Don't worry. I think the Cardinals pass the Cubs and win that division. To be honest with you, too many guys raking on that team. Obviously, with Nick on that team. Correct me if I'm wrong here, Sebi, but Nick's batting a little better than Brian is. Am I wrong?
Yes, he is.
Oh, okay. And they're tied right now, so it's close. And I don't
Nick's
know
on the Reds.
Right. Sorry. Who am I thinking of on the Cardinals here?
Oh, you're thinking of Cardinals.
I think no, the Cardinals are just overall just have a couple like good bats on the team. Everyone's batting well, obviously, they have 30 and 24. But the Brewers are really the ones to talk about in that division. Where the fuck did they come from?
Yeah.
Who do they got? What, Corbin Burns, who's their ace right now?
Yelich rakes.
I mean, I don't see the Pirates coming up anytime soon, so we won't even mention them.
They're suffocating in the water.
Yeah,
they are worse than dog water.
But the Reds not looking good, but could see a come up here in the hot months. But
Nick Castellano, he rakes, man. Let me tell you.
It's between the Cubs and the Cardinals for sure in that division, and the Brewers are a sleeper. So
I believe I took the Cubs to take the division. I still stand strong on that. I'm a really big fan of Javier Baez. Not too big of a fan of Anthony Rizzo, but I will appreciate his talent. They just have a solid team as well. The St. Louis Cardinals, I mean, the big pickup of Nolan Arenado will be crucial to their success, but the moves that the Milwaukee Brewers made so far, like with picking up Willie Adames and Trevor Richards, like I stated earlier in the video, like that is going to be a big push. That is what you're seeing right now. They're 8-2 in their last 10. They've won 5 in a row. They're going to be competing with the Cardinals for number 2 spot, potentially a wild card spot as well. I believe they're extending the playoffs right now. So I believe that there's going to be 3 wildcard teams. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I believe that they're extending the playoffs. So yeah, like wildcard is going to be pretty fucking intense this year, especially in the NL. Like the teams are more put together. It's like the Western Conference of the basketball league, like National Basketball Association. Like the NL is like the Western Conference. Every team is really fucking close. There's not as many shitter teams, and then like the AL is just fucking absolute dumpster fire. Teams not performing the way that they should. But to get back to the NL Central, Cincinnati Reds, I mean, Jesse Winker and Nick Castellanos fucking killing it on the bat. Sonny Gray really hasn't shown his true colors this year on the bump. He is a Cy Young caliber pitcher. I expect them to be kind of middle of the pack of that division as well. They could give the 3rd place team a run for their money. They could be one of those upset teams that potentially takes a team out of the wild card running, because I can see the Cubs being the division leader and then either the Cardinals or the Brewers being wild card contenders, like right off the bat. The Pirates, I mean, there's not much to say about the Pirates. The play with the Chicago Cubs and Javier Baez, the way that he finagled that whole fucking infield to score a run just shows the caliber of IQ and just the caliber of talent that team has.
Yeah, that was like a little league play right there. That was just that was nice.
When Adam Fraser's leading the team in batting average, there's a problem. Like, who even is that guy? So, but yeah, Arenado was the guy I was thinking on the Cardinals. He's doing his job over there. So, it's a good division. My favorite in the NL. So,
and I guess we'll finish off with the NL West. Another tough division. San Francisco Giants. Just they don't want to perform to expectation. They're going to perform above expectation. Still have the division, half a game on the Padres going into June 1st, which is today. Overperforming big time. They've won their last 4. The San Diego Padres have crept up over the fucking Los Angeles Dodgers for second place in the division, 34-21. The Dodgers not out of the running by any means. They're 32-22. Those top 3 teams are fucking really close, and they got the bats going. They're playing very well. They're all plus, like Giants plus 69 on the run differential, plus 81 for the Padres, and plus 73. They're the monsters of the National League Conference. We got the Colorado Rockies 4th, sitting at 20-34. I don't really see them moving anywhere. They had Arenado. He was a crucial piece of their success last year, but like when you lose a piece like that and you don't replace him, they still have Trevor Story, but when you lose a piece like that, don't expect to be much of a success story the next year. And finally, the Arizona Diamondbacks 19-36. They still have like Nick Ahmed, Ketel Marte. I didn't really expect them to be this shitty, but fuck, man, 19-36. Like, they're the worst team in the National League.
they are the Orioles of the NL. That's for sure.
That is.
Yeah, good. That's a good take.
But no, the Giants are definitely overperforming. We said it last time that we thought they were going to sizzle down, and they haven't. So I don't know. Maybe they're making a legit run. They got some good pitchers, but
I mean, how old is Longoria? How is he hitting so good this year? That's what I don't get.
I think Longoria is mid-30s, I believe.
I think he's batting almost 300, and he's doing pretty good. I mean,
they have Mike Yastrzemski as well.
Him and Crawford are doing pretty good. So I don't know. Like, maybe they could sneak up a bit. I don't think anyone's gonna catch the Dodgers or the Braves though this year. I mean, they're pretty.
The Braves.
Yeah, man, the Braves are pretty good. I like Freddie. You can't go wrong with Freddie. He hits big bats.
So you're just a Freddie Dick rider.
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Anthony Rizzo strikes out him once, and
one of the nastiest curveballs I've ever seen by Anthony Rizzo.
And
that's fucking just outrageous.
But if you remember last episode, I did make a bold prediction that the Padres are going to win the World Series, and it's looking more and more like I wasn't far off here.
I mean, Fernando Tatis Jr., fuck, man, he was on the IL to start the season. Then he gets fucking COVID, and then he's back out for 10 days. But it's like he hasn't even missed a fucking beat. He's still, I believe, in the top 5 in fucking home runs. He's in the top 5 in stolen bases. It's not unlike him to have a fucking 3 home run game. Their whole core, Mellon Connon, who's their closer, is leading the league in saves right now. They win close games. They have the bats to do it. They have a fucking solid pitching core. They have Blake Snell, Yu Darvish. Like, fucking list goes on with that team.
That guy's on Twitch. Let's go.
Yeah.
Well, when you have 2 to 3 aces on your team, you can do that type of thing.
Yeah, they have Tommy Pham. They have fucking Eric Hosmer at first base, who's a very solid hitter as well.
He's raking.
Yeah, they've just got a solid fucking core. I mean, I picked the Dodgers to take the division to start. I might change my pick here in the next month or so, because like the utilization of Trevor Bauer into their starting rotation just hasn't been to the expectation. Like, Trevor Bauer's still pitching very solid, but the offense just isn't behind the pitching.
Yep.
Like, Kershaw is in the top 5 in wins. I believe they have another pitcher in the top 5 in wins as well. Let me just take a peek here.
Walker Buehler, I think he throws some heat.
No, they have Julio Urias, who's just crept out of nowhere, 7 wins. he's second in the whole league. They just have a very solid pitching core. They have Kenley Jensen in the bullpen as well. They have solid relievers, and the bats just haven't been there to back it up. I'm waiting for
couple of good guys for Diamond Dynasty right there. Can't go wrong with those guys.
Fucking right. Shout out MLB The Show 21. But I'm just really shocked Mookie Betts hasn't put up the offensive production that I expected. I expected him to be top 5 batting average, at least top 10. He's not really a big home run dude. Like, he can hit the long bomb for sure, but like, that's not really his game. Just putting the ball into play and scoring runs. That's Mookie Betts' shit. He's an all-around player. He's just all we've seen is the glove this year. And I expect him to really step it up for the Dodgers.
I still stick to my opinion that he's going to heat up here shortly. I know we're running out of time, but he's going to heat up.
Yeah, I agree with that as well. I think he'll heat up.
And the rest of those teams in the NL West, just not even worth talking about. The Rockies and the Diamondbacks, like, there's nothing coming from those teams for the years to come. Don't even mention them.
They're not as bad as the Pirates.
No, the Diamondbacks are worse. So
to finish up, I guess we'll dive right into the pitching league leaders. I mean, I kind of scattered the league leaders the whole video. Just Jacob deGrom leading the league in ERA, 0.71. Brandon Woodruff, shout out Woodruff Avenue, 1.27 ERA. Lance Lynn of the Chicago White Sox, 1.37 ERA. Kevin Gausman, 1.40, and Garrett Cole of the Pinstripe Pride, 1.78. Strikeouts, Shane Bieber already has 110 strikeouts. Fucking disgusting. Tyler Glasnow, 98 strikeouts. Garrett Cole, 97. Trevor Bauer, 96. And Max Scherzer, 95. Basically the fucking usual suspects. No surprise whatsoever. These guys are the top pitchers in the league. Everyone knows it. And yeah, wins, Jack Flaherty, 8 wins. Julio Urias, Clayton Kershaw, Mario Petit, and Aaron Civil all have 7 wins. They're tied for second. Saves, Mark Melanconin of the San Diego Padres, 17. Alex Reyes, 15. Liam Hendricks, 13. Jake McGee, 12. And Kenley Jensen of the Dodgers, 12. What do you think of the pitching, boys? Who's sticking out in your mind?
Woodruff's just an absolute stud. Lowest ERA. I didn't expect that. This might be a far-fetched one, but Bumgarner's making a comeback. He's been a little shaky over the last 2-3 years, but he does have a shutout this year, so I got faith in Bumgarner. Other than that, you touched all the good ones. Shane Bieber's probably going to be the best pitcher in the league again. I'm not surprised. And Gosman's basically keeping that team where they are, and that's the reason they're overperforming, in my opinion. So
I really like that Trevor Rogers guy on the Marlins. He's really good. He's like 6'5", 220. He can just hum a ball, and he's a lefty too. So I like that. I think he's got like a 187 this year, so it's not bad. But yeah, I really like him. He's 6-3. So.
And the thing with the Marlins is that they have solid pitchers. Like, they have Pablo Lopez. They haven't even utilized Sixto Sanchez. They need to figure out who they're going to work with in their bullpen and in their rotation, and just have the bats behind them. And I'm really excited for the Miami Marlins future. They kind of, I believe, a couple of years ago, after they shipped Stanton off to the New York Yankees, they kind of took a step back and said, all right, what are we going to do here? Like, let's rebuild the team.
That might have been good for them to get rid of him, because he's pretty slumped right now. But.
Yeah, it was very good, and they cut the contract. They signed him to like a $250 million deal, and then just split the contract with the Yankees. Which, fuck, man, we haven't got the results from Stanton as we deserve. He was an NL MVP, and then the year after, he basically got shipped off. Ever since he got a ball in the face, I don't know. He just keeps fucking with his stance. He keeps fucking with his swing. He can absolutely hit a piss missile. It's just, we don't always need a piss missile. We need runs batted in. That's the only thing that fucking matters. Whether you need to hit a home run, whether you need to put it in the fucking gap in the outfield, I don't really care. Sacrifice bunt, doesn't fucking matter to me. Yanks, Oh, I'm getting going about my fucking Yanks again, but yeah.
It wouldn't be a feature with me on the video if I didn't say at least one thing about the Blue Jays here. Robbie Ray giving up the most home runs to batters is pretty considering we have Ryu and then Ray's our second go-to guy, so a little worried about that, but I don't know. Ryu's pretty solid for us, so I'll stick to that love, and yeah.
I'll stick to Chris Bryant getting a Silver Sluggers award this year. So that's what I'll end off on. That's what I think.
And I will stick to the Yankees are going to be the 2021 World Series champions. I got to stick to my guns and I got to speak it into existence. I'm expecting a big trade coming up here in the next month, but it's going to be a booster trade. Fuck. I'm going to say it. Somehow, some way, they need to figure out how to get Fernando Tatis Jr. in fucking pinstripes. So I know that he just signed the big bag with the Padres, but didn't stop them in the past by picking up Stanton after he just signed a year before on a big fucking deal.
No way he's moving to that cold city of New York. There's no way he likes snow.
There's nothing like the Big Apple, bud, and there's nothing like the house that Alex Rodriguez built. Let me tell you that.
You know what? I have to agree with Pink 77 here, and I say there's no chance he goes into pinstripes.
Like, I don't know, man. It's kind of like basketball too. Like players like the warm weather; they don't want to be cold. Like Giannis, he probably wants to get out of Milwaukee. I don't want to dabble into the NBA too much because this is the MLB one, but I don't know.
Anybody want to say anything before we let loose here?
Shout out to Owen Webster for not going golfing. That's all I gotta say.
It's a sensitive subject.
I'll touch a bit on my Jays because I have to. That Alex Manoah guy we just brought up after having a .67 ERA in the minors. I believe it was against the Yankees too that he threw 6 scoreless. So got big faith in him. We needed starting pitchers. Just broke a big losing streak there. So I got high hopes still for my Blue Jays, and that's not a biased opinion. They're just the bats are too hot not to. We need to get rid of Tyler Chatwood immediately. And you can't be walking 6 guys in the 9th inning when you have the lead by 4.
Seb, we need the Cubs inside info going into June, but
oh well, Wilson Contreras. I think his batting average goes up to 300. He's batting like a 250 right now, I think, and I think he's pretty hot. Him, Rizzo, Baez, and Bryant. They're just gonna lead the boys. That's all I'm gonna say. Cubbies are destined for greatness. That's all I'm gonna say.
And I'll end with the pinstripe pride. Garrett Cole, pitching lights out. Bullpen, shout out. You're performing above expectation, as well as the starting lineup. There's a couple shaky pieces in starting rotation, but I expect they're like with a guy like Garrett Cole, you're gonna pick up pointers and shit. You're gonna improve your game. He's one of the best pitchers in the league. Pitching is no problem, and we thought that was the issue coming into the season all along, but little did we know the bats were going to be the fucking issue. Gleyber Torres needs to be shipped out immediately before the All-Star break. He needs to go. We need to shake up the core. We've had this core for 4 years now. We made it to the ALCS against the team that shall not be named, and what shall not be named happened against a fucking cheating goddamn scum, and it's kind of killed our vibe. We need to shake up the core. We need to figure out everything because it's contract time. Aaron Judge is going to want a fucking contract extension. He's going to want like 25 mil. You're still paying fucking Stanton 28 mil to sit on the bench. You just signed DJ LeMahieu to like a semi bag. Like I thought he was going to be like a 20 plus, but I believe he's at like 17 or 18 or something like that. We need to figure out the payroll because like how long are we going to pay in luxury tax to just be a mediocre team, especially this year? You need to put it in the team's head that nobody is above the team. And if you don't want to perform to the Yankees' expectation, the fucking door's there, because there is an expectation. We're 27-time World Series champions, and we haven't won since 2009 when the great Alex Rodriguez led us to our 27th World Championship. I expect us to be the 2021 World Series champions. I'm going to speak it into existence, and I'm going to say it every fucking episode. Yankees World Series champs. And yeah, this has been episode 5 of Zoomin with the Boys. You can catch it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts. Catch it out on YouTube. This video is coming out on Monday. So happy Monday, everybody. Hope everyone had a great weekend. Welcome, Seb, to Zoom In with the Boys. New face. Welcome back, Rye, aka full-time Sesher. And we're fucking out.